Forget what you knew about the Old Trafford toothless era. Forget the days when a corner felt like a gift to the opposition. Because a revolution has ignited in the theater of dreams, Manchester United have stopped being the victims of the dead ball and have become its most lethal architects. We all remember the viral absurdity of Phil Jones hovering over a corner flag, a symbol of a club lost in its own incompetence. But fast forward to the 2025-2026 campaign, and the landscape has shifted with velocity. The Red Devils are no longer just participants. They are a haunting counterweight to Arsenal, the self-proclaimed kings of the set-piece empire. This is not just luck. It is pure strategic diversity, a mesmerizing masterclass that separates United from the chasing pack in a Premier League defined by low blocks and suffocating defensive lines. The dead ball is no longer a restart. It is a weapon of mass destruction used to unlock the most stubborn of gates. If the corner flag proves elusive, they simply turn to the touchline, launching ballistic missiles disguised as throw-ins deep into the heart of the 18-yard box, preyed upon the chaotic hesitation of defenders, demanding a specialist with the arm of a siege engine and the precision of a surgeon. Enter Diogo Dalot, the man they call Two Hands 5'5", not merely for his celebratory high fives, but for the sheer violence and arc he generates from the sidelines, a Portuguese powerhouse who transforms a simple throw into a lethal delivery. Look no further than Benjamin Sesko's strike against Sunderland, a goal born from sideline ingenuity, but under the watchful eye of Ruben Amorim, the focus has sharpened on the corner arc, boasting an arsenal of elite ball strikers like Bruno Fernandes, Brian Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, and Amad Diallo. Yet, possessing talent is one thing, harnessing it is another, which is where the analytical genius of Keita Hasegawa and the tactical mind of Carlos Fernandes come into play. Their brilliance lies in unpredictability, refusing to lean on a single gimmick. Unlike the rigid formulas often seen in North London, Manchester United dissect their prey, studying the defensive blueprints of every opponent, exploiting the jumping patterns of center-backs and carving out pockets of space that shouldn't exist. The coaching staff devours footage of the last 5 matches, distilling them into 3 optimal strike patterns. First, they choose the personnel, then they execute with clinical intent. Contrast this with the Arsenal formula, where a cluster of players swarm the far post like a beehive, orchestrating a chaotic screen to paralyze the goalkeeper and free up the executioner. It is a dark art, heavy in numbers, thick with subtle fouls, designed to suffocate the keeper's reach and create a vacuum for the finish, a method that has drawn heavy fire from critics who claim the Gunners' path to victory is devoid of beauty. Mikel Arteta remains defiant, claiming beauty lies in the quality of the adaptation and the survival of the duels. North London is prepared to sacrifice aesthetics at the altar of the Premier League trophy, doing whatever is necessary to secure the 3 points. However, should the officials tighten their grip, as we have seen in the cold scrutiny of the Champions League, this crowding tactic becomes a house of cards. Even Everton have tried to mimic the Arsenal blueprint, only to find that imitation is a poor substitute for innovation. United have chosen a different path, one of supreme versatility, making them impossible to read in the heat of battle. The Bruno to Casemiro connection has become a familiar haunting for defenders, but the genius lies in the variation of the finish. Against Fulham and Forest, it was about aerial dominance and timing. Against Villa and Newcastle, it was the sharp, unexpected near-post dart. And then the far post ghosting against Bournemouth, proving that while the provider remains constant, the execution is ever-evolving. This reveals a crucial truth. While Bruno Fernandes remains the chief architect, the blueprints of Manchester United are never static. They refuse the comfort of a single script, adapting their predatory instincts the moment they sniff a fracture in the opponent's wall. Under the watchful eye of Michael Carrick, the Red Devils have risen as a gigantic counterweight to Arsenal's set-piece monopoly, an astonishing 18 goals from dead balls, stripping away the penalty stats, boasting a clinical efficiency of 8 goals per 100, towering over the Gunners' 7.3. And when they don't score directly, they induce pure panic. Look at the Bournemouth clash, where the mere presence of Harry Maguire was a tectonic force, forcing Marco Senesi and James Hill into a tragic comedy of errors that left Georgi Petrovic helpless. Unlike the dark arts in North London, United choose not to harass the keeper. Instead, they embrace the freedom of movement, and when faced with a forest of giants, they pivot to the short routine, a symphony of coordination like Brian Mbeumo's strike against Spurs, a level of craft few in this league can mirror. We must understand, height is not the ultimate arbiter. It is the chemistry, the positioning, the silent language between teammates. Whether it's the near post, the far post, or a sudden 5-yard delivery, United possess the full spectrum of lethality. Even the touchline is a threat. Dalot's throw-ins acting as proxy corners, feeding Benjamin Sesko, or setting the stage for Patrick Dorgu's sublime one-touch volley against Newcastle. This is the pinnacle of the art. Victory achieved through sheer skill, not gamesmanship or petty tricks. Michael Carrick recently peeled back the curtain, revealing that this efficiency is born from tireless repetition and the tactical wisdom of his lieutenant, Johnny Evans, a veteran mind guiding the new generation. It's a fascinating alchemy. Sometimes a goal looks like a week of grass-stained practice, but often it is the fruit of deep analysis and the profound connection between men who simply understand the game. Johnny Evans pours his soul into this, and the gaffer believes in empowering the squad, listening to their instincts, because ultimately, it is the players who must navigate the violent chaos of the penalty area. Johnny's ideas are being transmitted perfectly. The Bruno and Casemiro telepathy is absolute, while Harry Maguire remains a wrecking ball in the air. The evidence is undeniable in their recent surges. Carrick isn't just talking, he is delivering 3 consecutive triumphs against Newcastle, Villa, and Bournemouth, each unlocked by a Bruno delivery met by the iron will of Casemiro or Maguire. Even Matthijs de Ligt awaits his turn to join this lethal choir, and while Arsenal cling to their scrutinized methods, United have forged a path of pure football. No tricks, no screens, just ruthless analysis. The synergy between Hasegawa, Fernandes, and now Evans has weaponized the Red Devils, turning the dead ball into a master key that unlocks the most vital of doors. Carrick is building on a legacy, and it is glorious to behold. This is the answer to the deadlock, a vital tool for the biggest stages. Carrick's vision is manifesting, not just through the summer signings of Mbeumo or Sesko, but through the rebirth of their set-piece identity. Ineos demands a club that can kill from any angle, and the progress at Old Trafford is a beacon of hope. The Champions League beckons, a theater where this evolution will finally be tested to its limits. Will this be the catalyst for their return to the summit? You've been watching a BallPulse production. Share your thoughts in the heat of the comments, and if this deep dive sparked your interest, support the team with a like, a subscribe, and ring that notification bell for the latest from BallPulse. Until next time.